Everyone, today we're going to be trying an ice fishing experiment using some materials you can find around your house. Okay, for this experiment, you're going to need a string. You can even use a shoelace or any kind of embroidery string, a bowl, an empty bowl, and here we have some ground Himalayan pink salt, but any salt will work for this experiment, a cup of water, and a cup of ice. The first step for this experiment is to grab your bowl and pour in a little bit of water. You don't want to pour in a lot of water, otherwise the ice won't be able to rise above the water. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pour in my ice, and I'm using 3 to 5 ice cubes, but if you want some more fish on your fishing pole, then use more ice cubes as you want. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab my string, and I'm going to go ahead and slide that on top of the ice wherever I want the ice to attach to the string. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour some salt over it so that the salt can help bond the ice and the string. After we sprinkle on the salt, we're going to let that sit for 10 minutes. And this is what it looks like with the salt on top of the ice. Okay, so now the ice has been sitting for about 10 minutes, and as you can see, the salt kind of disappeared and mixed in with the water. So now let's see how many fish we caught. So I'm going to grab the ends of the ice, and as you can see, the ice stuck to the string.
Hello, my name is Urmi Jaglakar. Today we're going to be making sundials. I hope that you enjoy it. Just as a heads up, you'll be needing a paper dish, a ruler, a pair of scissors, a pencil, tape, and glue. To start making the sundial, you first need to locate its center point. You can do this by lightly folding the plate in half. Then, slowly make a crease towards the middle and press down really hard. Then, open it back up, then turn it so you can make a crease in the other direction. Make sure that these two endpoints meet, and then make a crease here again. Make sure to press down really hard this time. Then you can open the plate back up and flip it over. Now you'll notice that a clear center point has formed because of all these creases. You can feel free to make a mark over here now, but if you want to be precise, you can use your ruler and measure to see if the distance from this point to this point and this point to this point are equal. If they are, that means that this is the clear center point. Then you would flip it around and measure to see the distance from this point to this point and this point to this point are equal. If they are, that means that that's the midpoint too, making this part the midpoint of the entire circle. I have measured these distances and I've determined that this spot is clearly the center point, so I've marked it. Take the ruler and line it up along the crease that you've made right here. Then trace it all the way. Now that you've made your first crease and you've outlined it, turn it to the other side and do the same thing with the crease that you've made on this side. It should now look like this. Now, the tricky part here is you have to divide these sections into 3 smaller sections. To do this, you're going to have to use a little bit of guessing and checking, but overall, try to make lines like that, and then lines like that, and then trace them across the whole plate. That way, you'll be able to divide these 2 sections in just one swipe of a ruler. Now repeat the same process for these 2 sections. Now, with the help of an adult, please cut out this small hole and make it the size so that a pencil could fit. Now, take your pencil and stick it in. Make sure that your pencil stands straight up, or else it can affect the direction. This may not look very pretty, so if you want, you could cut out a circle and then put it right along here. to cover up these lines. This is what the circle should look like, but note that making this circle is optional. If you choose to do this, then glue this part down, and then once you do, flip it over and stick the pencil through this hole again. This might be a little hard, but this will ensure that there's a hole on the other side. Now you're going to want to number these little marks similarly to how you number a clock. Just 12, and then go all the way to 11 over here. Okay, just to be careful, you're going to want to tape down this area right by the pencil to make sure it doesn't shake and it's at a full angle that goes completely up. Now what you're going to want to do is bring your sundial to an open field where there's plenty of direct sunlight.
Hey guys, I'm Ria, and today we're going to be making our very own water cycle in a jar. This experiment is super fun, basic, and easy to do. But first, you're going to need a few materials. Look around your house and try to find a glass jar, kind of like this one, a plate, some permanent markers, some boiling water, and 4 to 5 ice cubes. Okay, so whenever you're ready, let's get started. Let's begin by decorating our jar with permanent markers. You can add clouds at the top and an ocean at the bottom to really seem like it's a water cycle.
This is my finished jar. Remember, this step is optional, but if you can, I would recommend doing it.
We're going to pour some boiling water into our jar and put our plate on top, covering the jar, this opening. Make sure to ask your parents or an older sibling for help when boiling water and pouring it into the jar because it can be extremely dangerous. Now wait about 3 minutes before continuing to the next step. While waiting, observe what's happening to the jar. If you look carefully, you can see that the sides are becoming foggy. Now that it's been 3 minutes, let's add our ice cubes. Place the ice cubes on top of the plate. And then watch what happens in the jar. You can observe and even take notes if you want. But as you can see, there are water droplets on the side. This is very similar to what happens in the water cycle. Water has 3 states: liquid, solid, and gas. The water starts as a liquid in the bodies of water like the ocean. This is represented by the water at the bottom of the jar. Then the sun heats up the water like boiling it is in the jar. This causes the water to change into a gas and become water vapor. The sides of the gas became foggy because the water turned into gas. The water vapor then continues its journey by going higher into the atmosphere where it's cool. In the jar, the top is cool because of the ice on the plate. This process is called condensation. Once the water vapor condenses, it forms droplets of water which form down. This is called precipitation or rain. This is shown through the water droplets formed on the side of the jar. Okay, so that's the water cycle for you. The water cycle is a very important process that allows water to be reused and recycled so that we can keep on drinking it to survive. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Stay safe, keep on learning, and have a great day.